The Canon EOS R6 Mark II is one of the most exciting cameras to ever come out. It is truly a hybrid camera for not only photo and video enthusiasts, but also serious professionals. The first thing you will notice is the brand new 24 megapixel sensor that builds on its predecessor, and it also offers improved resolution and better high ISO performance. But we also have a very powerful Digic X processor, which truly makes the Canon R6 Mark II a next generation camera, creating sharp and low noise images. The 24 megapixel full frame sensor is special for two reasons. By having a full frame sensor, your camera is by default going to have a cinematic movie-like quality. And that's mainly because you will have a 1.6 times wider field of view compared to a smaller APS-C size sensor. But most importantly, you will really be able to see that shallow depth of field effect that everyone loves. And because it's a larger sensor, it can ultimately capture more light and more color information, giving you even more creative freedom when it comes to editing. The Canon R6 Mark II features 12 frames per second mechanical shutter, but also a blazingly fast 40 frames per second electronic shutter mode. However, the most exciting news is that the Canon R6 Mark II is the first full frame camera to feature raw burst mode up to 30 frames per second. That is as fast as video, which means when it comes to those high pressure, critical moments that make or break your shoot, the Canon R6 Mark II absolutely has your back. The Canon R6 Mark II has 4K that is oversampled from 6K. So you really get a sharper and much more detailed image when compared to other 4K cameras. Also, by oversampling, you get better noise performance overall. And there is no 30-minute record limit. You can continuously record up to 6 hours. The other very exciting feature is that the Canon R6 Mark II also records 4K at 60 frames per second, which is also downsampled from 6K. The Canon R6 Mark II is perfect for getting those mouth-watering slow motion shots when shooting high fashion, music videos, or just creative work in general. The Canon R6 Mark II also shoots slow motion in sharp, full HD up to 60 frames per second for 2 times slow motion and 120 frames per second in 5 times slow motion, but it also has an insane 180 frames per second for 7.5 times slow motion. The Canon EOS R6 Mark II also features Canon C-Log 3 for increased dynamic range. So when it comes to video post-production, you can get balanced highlights and shadow, and you can craft any kind of look your heart desires. The EOS R6 Mark II can now shoot 6K up to 60 frames per second in ProRes RAW using a compatible external Atomos Ninja recorder connected via HDMI, giving you everything you need for even the most demanding projects. Canon has always been an industry leader when it comes to autofocus, but with the Canon EOS R6 Mark II, it now supports an even higher level of dual pixel CMOS autofocus too. Now, this new update takes speed and reliability to a whole new level with 100 by 100% coverage of the entire picture area and 1,053 automatically selected autofocus zones when shooting in the whole area autofocus. Canon's updated subject detection uses deep learning technology. Now, this technology allows the camera to recognize when it's looking at different subject matter like people, animals, and vehicles. And now it also adds the ability to recognize and focus on horses, trains, and aircraft. It really is smart autofocus and even features an automatic subject detection mode that allows the camera to automatically figure out exactly what it's looking at. The EOS R6 Mark II now supports up to 8 stops of shake reduction, which greatly reduces the need for a tripod and even gives you smooth video footage while shooting handheld. The EOS R6 Mark II now features a highly precise 0.5-inch OLED electronic viewfinder and a beautiful 3-inch side articulating screen with 1.6 million dots, giving you a great monitoring tool to make sure your image capture is perfect. The EOS R6 Mark II now features 2 UHS 2 SD card slots that allow for backing up your images in real time as you shoot. And it also supports both wired and wireless connections to your smartphone via its USB Type-C port plus Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And this camera package wouldn't be complete without a world-class camera body that is engineered for even the most demanding shooting environments and it's also sealed against dust and moisture. The Canon R6 Mark II is one of the most complete camera packages, from the spectacular 24 megapixel full frame sensor, raw burst mode up to 30 frames per second, and 4K downsampled from 6K up to 60 frames per second, to the Digic X processor that allows for truly next generation autofocus and stabilization. And these features will satisfy everyone from a serious working professional to an enthusiast that is simply passionate about photos and videos. There is so much power in this camera that this is a camera that you can truly grow with. And the ever-expanding line of RF lenses, as well as lens mount adapters for lenses from Canon's previous EF line, makes the Canon R6 Mark II an even more appealing option.